All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this new episode of our Lunch and Learn series organized by La French Tech Indonesia. For those of you who do not know about us, La French Tech Indonesia is a nonprofit organization that gathers 63 organizations across 50 countries around the world. And our community in Indonesia started a year ago. We are now over 200 entrepreneurs, investors, and other tech aficionados. So the whole reason, our mission for our community is to build an inclusive community and foster the French entrepreneurial footprint in the region, but also to contribute to building a stronger tech ecosystem in Indonesia. So as part of La French Tech Indonesia, we run a number of different initiatives to animate and connect our community. This includes a number of different actions like monthly networking events that take place in Jakarta and in Bali. We organize also some panels and, of course, these Lunch and Learn sessions twice a month. So if you're interested in joining and you're not yet part of the community, feel free to join. Just go to frenchtech.id and join the network. I will add this in the comments section. Now, without further ado, let's get started and get to what brings us here today. Welcome, Antoine, to our episode 5, season 2 of our Lunch and Learn series. So a little bit about Antoine. So Antoine is a French entrepreneur on a mission to help entrepreneurs create their dream company more easily. So basically, he promotes no code as a go-to solution to for better cost-effective and time-effective design, and that allows you to design your first product, like the MVP, and of course will enhance your productivity. So Antoine will tell you more about this and much better than me. So I will let the floor to you, Antoine, and tell us more about no-code development. Over to you.
Perfect. Thanks very much for introduction. I'm going to share my screen first. Tell me when you have access to my screen.
It's coming up. Yes, we can see it. And we see
it's good for everyone.
Yes, perfect.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, today we're going to speak about no-code development. For the people who don't know me yet, as I'd say I'm an entrepreneur working with no-code for over 2 years. I'm also a teacher and speaker in French University. And before I used to work in Airbus Group in Alstom as a buyer. So that was a long time ago, but now I switched to no-code. So today the agenda is just for the people who are not yet familiar with the no-code, is just understanding the concept of no-code, what's the main advantages and how we can develop it. And I'm going to show you various platforms that we use in no-code nowadays. I'm sure you know a few platforms we're going to see later. And at the end, I'd like to show you a few examples on automation and no-code for you to understand better, because it's nice to have a PowerPoint, but also I'd like to show you some techniques. Maybe it would be nice for you to use it later. So maybe to start with the understanding concept of no-code, the first question I'd like to ask is, do you know what is no-code actually? You can take the speak. Would be nice to have like some interaction. Anyone have an idea what's no code, or no one's know for the moment?
It's like coding for dummies without needing to have coding skills.
Yeah, it's almost this. Someone else wants to try? Okay, no one. Just move on. Yeah, basically in the no-code, you're right. It's a visual development approach. The nice thing is that you don't need to write any code. For me, as a non-tech person, it's super nice because it allows you to create platform. The system mainly it's drag and drop interface, and it allows you to do workflow, design user interface, and automate businesses. What about automate businesses? It's just like automate all the process. So with API, we're going to see this later with Make or Zapier. Maybe you know Zapier is quite famous. So that's the approach of no-code nowadays. And what we know with no-code is that 95% of business could be built with no-code nowadays, and only 0.3% of the population know how to code. So now you can see why no-code is getting popular, because many people want to develop ID apps, but not many people know how to code. And coding, it's kind of expensive. So that's why no-code can be the next solution for kick off your project and find traction on your market. So that's why I'm just working with no-code for more than 2 years, because I think there is a huge potential with this new technology. So just for a bit of study, according to Gartner, we know that in 2024, 65% of the application will be developed with low code, which is a lot, maybe even better in 2026, we don't know. And we know that in the APAC region, which is Asian Pacific region, you know, we are with Bali and Jakarta, which is the fastest growing market. No code is still not developed yet, and I think in the future is going to be a huge thing. So that's why I think no code need to be known in Indonesia, and we need to really work with local people to teach them how to use this kind of technology. So maybe right now, just for a few advantages of the no-code, I think the main advantages you need to remember with the no-code is that it's faster to the market. In average, it's 3 times faster to develop something with no-code. It's obviously cost saving in development, it's 3 times cheaper. It's easily maintainable. It helps you to remove the dependency of IT. When I say IT, it's you don't need any tech guy in your company. I start my first startup without any code developer, so that's super nice, and it's a rapid development and leverage cloud computing. So that's, I think, the main advantages you need to remember about no code. You can tell me if you have any question about no code. We can just continue otherwise. Okay, it's good for everyone. So right now, I just spoke about low code before. The main difference between no code and low code is that in the low code, it's just a bit of code that you put into your no code platform. That's allow you to have better flexibility with just minimal end coding. It's help you to create like even more powerful application. It reduces the cost, the speed of development, and mainly you can use with one no-code platform, which is the most famous for me. I mean, the most powerful. It's Bubble. We're going to see it later. You can put HTML within your no-code platform, and it create like a low-code platform. Most of the time, people say that no-code is not enough customizable. You cannot customize enough, but with the low-code solution, you can really create something really powerful that allow you to really scale your business. So that's the main thing about low code. Just to show you, if you see my screen, this is a bubble, and on the right, I just add like a HTML, and it allow you to do this rounded shape with some data, and that's nicer because it creates something better for the design. And my customer wanted to like this exactly, and with this solution of low code, it allows you to really to customize my app and really have like a nice platform for the people. So yeah, no code platform can be used in various ways. So that's the no code landscape nowadays. And what I was saying before, I'm sure you know many of these platforms. Just for the website builder, for example, I'm sure you heard about Wix, Webflow, WordPress. Same for the e-commerce, Shopify. All these platforms are no-code tool nowadays. And even for the database, I think Airtable is quite famous. You have also maybe, for the automation, I was speaking about Make and Zapier earlier. Even for the forms, job form, type form. Maybe just a small question. Are you familiar with this kind of platform, or no one's know about this no code landscape for the moment? You never use maybe ClickUp Monday, which is kind of famous for the productivity?
Well, from my side, actually, I use Asana and Notion.
Yeah, Notion is super famous. I think Notion is a really nice no-code platform.
Yeah.
maybe if David or someone else or even Raphael, are you using any of those tools for the moment or not yet? If it's not yet, I'm gonna convince you that it's really nice to use one in this no-code platform.
Yeah,
ClickUp
many
for
of
me.
them.
Many of them. Oh yeah, nice. Which one are you using, Raphael?
Airtable, Notion, Shopify I've used before, Bubble a little bit, Webflow, WordPress, Typeform here.
Nice. You use a lot of Bubble or just a bit?
No, just a little bit. Yeah, not much.
Okay.
I usually code, but I'm here to be
Oh.
convinced to code less.
Nice. I like it. we can do a small talk on code and no code. It's funny because last time I organized MVP step-by-step guide, and for this pitch I invite someone in code, and I was the no code expert. So we spoke about the advantages of both ways. So it was nice to have this discussion. So maybe we can have it at the end of the talk, saying maybe it was the main advantages of code. Maybe to just reply to this question quickly, I think code and no code can work together. Obviously, I think for a kickoff, if you're not a tech guy, it's nice to use no code platform, but once you want to have like a better structure and really scale in the future, maybe maybe coding could be the solution. But I think for finding traction, no code is really nice because you can pivot super quickly, and it allows you to create like platform within a day or even less sometimes. With the example I show you, I'm using AI and no code, and in less than an hour I create my app. So it's nice just to show you what I can do in 1 hour with Bubble. So okay, let's move on. So yeah, I was speaking about Bubble because for me, Bubble is the most powerful no-code platform. You heard about it, obviously. No, we know that many business already like raised millions of money with Bubble. So we know that you really can scale with this kind of platform. That's really a drag and drop platform. It allows you to have workflow and visual programming. It's super infinite. So that's why I was speaking about low code, because Bubble, it allows you to do this kind of platform of low code where you can really customize your app and do something really powerful. So I think nowadays Bubble is really used by the small businesses, the medium businesses, the entrepreneurs like me. I start no code with Bubble 2 years ago. Just to give you a bit of context, I wanted to set up my first app, and I didn't have any idea how to develop an app. And I start to find a way to do it myself, and no code arrived with this Bubble solution, and I start to use it. It was kind of complicated at first because you need to really understand the logic of the data and how to call the data. It's kind of a coding mainly, and once you start to understand, within 3 months you can be almost an expert. So that's why I think no code is nicer, because random people can really learn how to do no code in less than 3 months for this kind of platform, Bubble, which is the most complicated to use. But if you take the example of coding, it takes you like maybe years to become like an expert. I don't know for how long you've been coding, Raphael, but I think you need like a lot of time and a lot of training on this kind of technology, right?
Yeah, and it's not necessarily worth it, and even before we had the tools like Bubble coming up, like sometimes people were trying to learn to code, to do some stuff that could be like, you can use WordPress, takes you 95% of the way, and you'll do it in a fraction of the time. It'll be more maintainable. It's definitely not always the right answer to like just jump straight into code.
Yeah, obviously, I think you need to really understand what's the needs of your customer, and maybe sometimes you can use no-code platform just to create and go faster on the market. Just because the idea, I think nowadays with your MVP, you need to find traction quickly, and you need to be able to go just on the market within a month or even less, just to see if you really like understand the needs of your customer. Otherwise, just pivot with this kind of no-code technology, and after you can see if you go with coding or not. So maybe to finish with Bubble. It's obviously really nice for non-technical individuals as myself. We want to create software solution quickly and with cost effectiveness. It's cheaper and it's faster. So that's why I think it would be the best answer to our issue in the future to really kick off your project quickly. I think just to give you a bit of context, many apps can be built without any coding, just using Bubble. There is many like example of e-commerce app, AI app. I'm just going to show you later AI app that I've developed in less than 30 minutes. Business productivity app, CRM app, event app, social networking, education, health and fitness, food and recipe. I mean, you can almost build everything with Bubble. I had like many customers for like marketplace, e-commerce, and health and fitness app, which is really nice. You can even use like the template or even use like your previous app, which is even help you to go faster on the process. So normally I think I can like deliver MVP in 2 weeks or even less, sometimes depend of the feature, because I think sometimes with my customer, what I advise is just to create the main feature. Then after you can add feature once you try your main feature, because the main feature is like really which solution you bring to your customer and to the target. Otherwise, it takes too much time and it's kind of expensive for your customer. Yeah, so let me maybe share my screen quickly with Bubble. Let me know if you can see it.
Yes, clear.
Yes, yes.
All right, perfect. So yesterday I created, just for you to understand, a small app that allow you to give you like recipe. So basically you have 2 features, which is super easy. I told you I've done it in half an hour, so I didn't have time much to spend on it. So there is 2 icons. The first one, it's you can ask what you want to eat. So basically you put like a recipe like carbonara, and the AI give you image and give you a recipe. And there is another icon. When you click it, you just say what's it's left in your fridge. So for example, you say, I still have in my fridge tomato, pancetta, pasta, onion, whatever, and it tell you which kind of recipe you can cook with it. So basically it just allow you to understand what you can cook with the leftover in your fridge. So I thought it was nice to show you this, because there is a plugin with AI. So nowadays we know that it's a really trendy subject, even more since ChatGPT just came into the market. So just to show you how it works. So that's the interface. So the design is kind of the front end for the developers. The workflow, you understand, just allow you to create like the trigger and the action, and the data basically it's the backend for the developers. And here in the plugin you can really do API with other apps. So for example, for this one I had to plug my ChatGPT account, and I just need to do a few manipulation, or maybe I just move this up. Should I explained? Just need to connect with my AI app application, my key, and the things was already done. Just like the interface took me less than like half an hour just for you to show the results. So it's kind of this kind of app. So for example, here, if I want to ask like, can you give me a carbonara recipe? So you're gonna give me a carbonara recipe. The only, I think, issue with this is that because it's asking Chat AI, the answer is quite long for the moment. It takes like maybe 20 seconds. I think I can find a way to improve it like super quickly, but I just need to work a bit more to just faster the process. But you see, it's not that long also. So I give you the recipe of the carbonara and so on. So I give you all the ingredients and stuff like that. And normally also pictures should appear, but maybe, I don't know, something was wrong with this. Anyway, and here is with the leftover in your fridge. I done like a example with this. Yeah, I worked with this yesterday. I wanted it to give me the same recipe of carbonara with this kind of ingredients. So just get the ID and see what it can give me with this list of ingredients. Yeah, it's a bit longer than I was expecting. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, with an ingredient, he give you like the recipe. Here we go. We have the pictures. And for example, I put like pancetta, pasta, onion. You saw the list. It's just up here. And he give you like the name of the recipe that you can find. And you say, pasta carbonara recipe, blah, 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 direction, what you need to follow. So that's really nice because on the workflow, what I ask to the AI, I just say with the input, just give me a recipe with a few bullet points, and it just give me the recipe with a few bullet points. And it's the same with the image. I just like here with the image, just say like, just say, give me just a photorealistic zoom out of image on a table. And it's nice. So you see, I can use it for recipe, but also I can be using it for like other kind of apps. And with this kind of API, within like half an hour, you already have like a MVP, even though it's not like super efficient for the moment. Maybe I need to faster a bit the process, and maybe I need to be quicker. But in half an hour, I think it's already decent MVP. Okay, so let's maybe move on to other things. Maybe if someone has any question on the app, maybe Raphael or someone else. Sorry, Raphael, no, I see your face all the time. I'm going to ask you the question.
Yeah, so Antoine, thanks for sharing. I don't know what's the following of the presentation, but can you run us through a little bit how you build an app with Bumble? Not like 10 minutes, not 5 minutes, just 2 minutes. What are the steps for us to understand how, like the menu on the side, what is the workflow, the connection to database, etc. Just for us to understand the concept.
So basically,
as you say, it's your favorite tool. So we are curious.
Yeah. So basically, yesterday I just created this app quickly. Obviously, this is not it's not finished yet. It's just to show you what we can build in half an hour. So as I said here, basically we can say it's a menu, but we only have 2 icons. So for example, when you put an icon, the idea is that you need to create a workflow behind. So if I select this and I go here and start a workflow, I can see what's the workflows going. So basically this workflow just go to another workflow. And the main idea when you build the app on Bubble is to really understand what you want to do. So basically here, my main feature was with AI. If you like tap something, it gives you a recipe. So I just built like my design super quickly, like in 15 minutes, even less, like 10 minutes. And I just like connect with AI in order to give me the answer. So the idea was, how can I cook something and what I can cook with the leftover in my fridge. So first on Bubble, I think you need to understand what you want to do. And once you have this, you can either use template, but I don't recommend to use template because template sometimes it not allow you to go in workflow the way you want. So I think I would better maybe I will more recommend to people just to build from the scratch and just understand your core feature. I don't know if I really replied to your question. If you want maybe to ask another question, or maybe just
okay. So from one component, yeah, it's good. So from one component that you put on your homepage, you link a workflow that is a little bit like your wireframe, but animated with other page that you will customize one by one. Is that correct?
Yeah. I mean, the main thing you need to understand about Bubble is that you need to call the data. So basically, when I want to show something on my design, which is this page, what's the people see. So here, when I click preview, I go to this app, right? We agree with this. And the thing is that I need to call the data. So for example, I'm going to have input. People are going to save data into my app. And if I want to show this data, I just need to call the data within my design saying parent group data, blah, blah, blah. And I can show the data I want to see. For example, for the marketplace, you ask someone to register, give his his expertise, his name, his age, his city. And once I want to show the city, I just need, or the city or the data or the age of the person, I just need to call this data into my design for the people to see this information. So basically, first you need to save the main information you want to show on the data, and then after you can call it on your design with the workflow or with these kind of things.
What kind of data format do you have with Bubble? Is it
It's
format
this
or
one. This one I didn't use it, but it's like this one. So basically here you have a data type. You can create different data type, and within a data type, you can create field. So for example, here I put like there is user all the time, and here if I want to have like maybe the age of the user, I just go to age, number, and you create a new data type. And here I have like the name of the user. So basically here's the data type, and when you have to have your app data, you go here and you see it's age. So for example, like someone gonna sign up, you put like his email, his age, and if you have like other information you need to know, you just need to add it on your data type. But here I've only have user, but on the marketplace I have different type of data. I can have like publication, I can have like offer, many kind of data type.
How do you query your database once you make a dynamic page on your app? It's like,
Can you repeat this question?
so let's say you will store data, right? So you store data in that format.
Yeah.
And now you're making some page where you say, oh, hello, welcome, Rafael. And how do you query the database for this? Is that again a click stuff? Or you have to put a bit of SQL? Do you have an advanced?
No. You just need to call this data from the design. So basically here you go here and you just need to say, I want to have like the name of the user, and the name of the user gonna appear here if you put on a dynamic link, and the dynamic link we call the data. If it makes sense to you or not really.
Cool.
Maybe I have another, I can show you maybe another example if it's maybe more clear for you.
Just if I may, so we have we're limited in terms of times. We've already reached 12:30 in Jakarta, 1:30 in Bali.
Okay.
Let's skip.
Okay, let me go to another example.
Yeah, I think everybody will be happy to extend for another 10 minutes, 15 minutes maximum, but I think we need to.
Okay.
So I leave it up to you whether you want to carry on, if there's more content that you want to share, and then we move on to the Q&A, or if you want to go to the Q&A directly, it's really up to you. Sorry about that.
I just wanted to move to another example on automation, maybe with Bubble. If the person is interesting, I can just, if you can stay a bit more, and I can come back to Bubble just for the last 10 minutes or even after the call. But maybe the other things I want to show also is automation, which is a big part also of my expertise, which I really like. Obviously, I'm going to speak about Make Integromat. For the people who knows, it's a really strong tool that help you to automate tasks and create complex workflow. It connects like Android apps or even more, and it's super nice because it can handle high volume of data and automate workflow. So that's cool. This kind of maybe that's kind of process you can create with Make, but for today I create something smaller just for you to see. Oops. Let me go to my Make. So what I did on this one is just I'd ask people to do registrant form with Tally. Tally, it's kind of form. And what I wanted to do is just like create a Google slide. Here I have my Google slide. And here I put bracket company. The idea is that all the time I have a new form that is filled by someone. I want to do like create a template, and with this bracket I want to like select information from the Tally questionnaire, where there is like obviously the name of that's my forms, where there is the name of the company, and that's going to create automatically this Google slide template with the name of the company, with my name, blah blah blah, and this is going to go into my Drive. And the last thing I wanted to do in my automation is that just I receive like a notification on my phone saying you have a new lead. Just call the person, and I put the name of the person and the name of the company, and I just received like the notification on my iPhone saying like, oh, someone just filled the form, and your Google site is ready. You just call the person, because I also put the phone number and send him the presentation. So that was the main idea of this automation, and this is like less than 5 minutes, and you can create this kind of automation that can really faster your process and your way of do prospection or other things you wanna create. So maybe just to show you what this looks like after. So I go to my Drive. I did yesterday the things. So you go here, and so normally it's like Antoine and something. Oh, let me just move this. Perfect. many things. Facebook and Antoine. So I did the example with Facebook, obviously. It was easier. But so you see with Antoine, fit Facebook, and you can create also image from the company and so on. So you can really like customize even more like the things. So this is just from this registration form, and you just create this form quickly, this template, sorry, quickly. And I got the notification on my phone, and it's just allow you to like to automate your process. So this is just a small example, but you can create even more complex automation. So I don't know, maybe I think we can go to the question if someone wants to see something more in details with the automation or with Google building software or other things like that.
Yeah.
Do you have a kind of a site or a place where there is a list of sample use case that are pretty common or pretty popular, etc., to get a list of ideas and see how to start using?
Yeah, obviously. So basically here, this make, you have, if you click template, the platform, it gives you few templates that you can use already. So for example, email with Google Sheet, for example, you like create a new box into your email box, basically, and you create like something like prospection and saying all the time I have a new email coming. I just want to go to extract all this information into Google Sheet. That's just a small example. Another example, for example, this one, it was funny. So you have like people working remotely, and just you want to like send them every day the meteo of their location, and you can just send them every day an email saying, today in Bali, the weather will be rainy, the temperature will be 25, blah, blah, blah. So it's just a nice way of keeping like communication with your team when you work remotely, and you can just automate the process, knowing with which people working where. So basically you just add like a Google Sheet with all the location of your workers, and every day you just send this automate email saying, hello, how are you today? Blah, blah, blah. The weather is going to be this today. So that is kind of common template you can create. So here there is like few ideas on the template. And also if you go to YouTube videos, there is many use cases. I think for create automation, Make is a bit more difficult than Zapier. Zapier is the most common one, but with Make, you can create more complicated automation. So maybe to start with automation, I will recommend maybe to go more with Zapier, but Make obviously can create more like difficult process and difficult workflow.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. And yeah, if you follow me on LinkedIn, I'm posting a few automation. Now I'm doing automation. The one I'm doing like right now, it's the automation for online training agency in France, and the idea is to automate all the process because they use different platform. I think they use like 5 different platforms, and I want to automate everything. So I need to really connect all the apps. And sometimes you don't have the app that already register in your in Make, and here you need to call with the API, and you make it a bit more complicated. But obviously you can do better things with calling this API, and there is so many filters you can add. So it's a really powerful tool, to be honest. Here you can use iterator, you can add filters, so you can really go into the details with this kind of automation. And the good thing is that if you think about your like a daily task that you do every day, imagine you do a daily task only 5 minutes per day. At the end of the years, it takes you maybe more than 2 or 3 days. I don't know exactly. I didn't count it yet. But if you just automate the process, maybe it would take like 2 or 3 hours. But after it, you don't need to do any more this task. So you just can save so much time with this kind of automation. So that's why I think it's super powerful. And I think that's why many people should use automation nowadays, because it's on the long run, it's such a cost saving time. So it's a really nice approach for entrepreneurs, for manager, for everyone, basically.
I have a question. So you spoke at the beginning also that it's great for automation, absolutely, but also for building MVPs for early stage startups. Of course, there's a number of startups that where the founder is not tech at all, but there's kind of a general thinking that's in order to develop an app we need engineers. What are the high level criteria for somebody that is non-tech at all to know what, if this and this and this, then no code is a good solution. However, if you still need to have an engineer. Is there a clear cut for non-tech founders to know, okay, no code is an option for me or not?
I think yes. Obviously, when you start your business, sometimes you don't have a lot of savings, so you don't have a lot of money, and if you don't have any skills on web development and coding, I think no code should be the best solution, because you don't want to hire someone before to start to earn any money with your business and you have traction. So that's why I think for any founder here, I think the best idea is that you really know. You need to know your product. So to know your product, I think you should build the first MVP. And after, you can maybe start to hire people when you have traction. But at the beginning, if you don't have money and you don't have a team, obviously you should start with no code, because it's easier to understand and it takes less time to create your feature, and you can really pivot quickly, because once you create something and you go on a market with like a focus group of 10 people, basically you just create your MVP like in 1 month, and you want to try with like a focus group of 10 people, and you have feedbacks, and with these feedbacks you just iterate your apps super quickly within a week, and after you can start again, and you pivot till you find this perfect market fit. And I think with code, to find this market fit, it can take like a lot of time and a lot of money. So if you don't have like a big team and your budget is not really high, you should not consider code. You should really go with no code and just iterate with no code till you find like a market fit. Then once maybe you start to have a lot of traction, like monthly recurring revenue, maybe you can change you can change your platform with like a code or not.
But basically, you're saying that no code could replace code, any type of product, whether that's a marketplace or whatever, or an app, or that's what I'm trying to understand. Which are, I think, when are the cases that it's like, no, there's no, you still need to develop at some point, or either it's a phase or it's a type of product.
I think it's a phase. I think, as I say, the beginning, both need to work together. I think no code should be for the kickoff of your product or of your project, and code can just come later, once you may be bigger, when you have a bigger team, when you have more budget. But at the beginning, I think no code should be the solution, even more when you don't have budget. And as I say at the beginning, 95% of the apps could be built with no code nowadays. Obviously, sometimes when it's too technical, you can do it with no code. But if you just do low code, with low code, I think with low code you can create maybe like 97% of the apps. So I think just both need to work together. I don't think you need to say code, we should stop developing with code. It's not the case, because even no code is just like block of code that you drag and drop. So you need at one stage a coding expert, and I think that's never going to change. But obviously the no code revolution is that non-tech person can create something. So that's really the idea behind. I think automation, you can do it with coding, but not everyone can do it. For myself, I cannot do any automation if I need to code. But with this kind of platform, I can create like really tricky automation and really help people to save a lot of time and money. So that's the nice thing you need to remember. It's easier to use, and it allows you to go faster on the market. So if you need to remember only one thing about this presentation is that no code not going to change the code development. Obviously, it's just I think help the code to maybe have better person and more expert person into this area, and non-tech person can also create MVP and automation. So I think it's a win-win. So that's why I think it's a revolution, because no code, it would be a win for non-tech guy and also a win for code developer, because they can work together and just find better ID, develop faster, iterate faster. It's what we want in the market. It's just go faster to see if there is any traction. If not, just change your product or pivot. That's the only thing you need to remember.
Okay, thank you very much. I will take one last question. I think, Jap, you've been raising your hand, so please go ahead. We'll try to keep it short so that we can stay within the time allocated somehow.
Great. So thanks, Antoine, again. So back to what you were just saying with Anne. So you mentioned 95% are suitable for no code. So my question is, what is the 5% from your experience that is not suitable? Question number two is, what is the trigger? So understood that the no code is perfect for MVP, right? What is the moment you decide to move out of the no code to go to a real code? But is there something clear in your experience? And last maybe would be, what is the next frontier in no code, sorry, as you are an expert. So what is the next level? Go ahead.
So there is 3 questions. Maybe the first question, I think the 5% that you cannot develop with no code will be maybe a Web3 project. When we speak about Web3 and all this kind of technical issue, I think no code could not be a solution for the Web3 landscape. So I think right now it's too difficult. I never saw anyone developing anything on the Web3 with no code. So I think that would be maybe the 5%. The other question saying that when do you know you need to switch from code to no code is maybe when you have like a lot of customer and you have a lot of privacy and you need to have your own server. Maybe then you can switch to code because you want to have your own server and you don't want to let it in Amazon cloud, because with Bubble, for example, you have all your data within AWS in Amazon. So maybe that would be a switch. Or also when you want to, I don't know, I think, yeah, that's the main things with privacy, or maybe you want to raise a lot of money and you're on Series B or something like that, and the shareholder wants you to have like a stronger tech. Maybe you can also imagine to go with a code development.
Have you faced performance issue? You have a threshold in mind for performance?
I think performance can be really optimized with no code right now. There is a lot of way to improve your platform. And I know that Bubble is working every day to improve this platform because they raise a lot of money and they just want to allow everyone to create something and something quickly. So they just work on to improve the platform every day. So that was the next question. What will be the next frontier with no code? I don't know yet. I think no code will be really common in the future, as you can see on the study I showed earlier. I think many apps will be built with no code in the future, or low code. Even now, they like with Webflow, Wix, Shopify. It's mainstream, and I think is even going to be even more mainstream. Also with the automation and so on. So I think if you have the skill of code with a no code, you could be a really interesting. You could be a really interesting expert on both domain, because obviously if you know how to code, no code would be super easy for you to understand. So I think, yeah, you really need to understand what's the need of your target or of your customer, and you can see if no code could be a solution or not. But I think in many cases it can be. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Antoine. That was super interesting. I see that we still have some questions that came in the comments. I will share those questions with Antoine, and he will be able to share his answers, if you don't mind, Antoine, on the WhatsApp group, so that everybody can also get the answers and benefit from that. Feel free to share your feedback if these sessions work for you. If you would like to have more of this, let us know. I think we would be happy to invite Antoine again to deep dive into one specific area of no code. We'll see if he's happy to come back.
I think it's too challenging to speak about no code in half an hour, because there is many things to say about it. I think maybe in half an hour you can discuss about only Bubble or only automation. Otherwise, you just stay. You don't dig to the subject. Yeah.
I mean, this is the idea of the format. The format is it's short, and we actually introduce a topic, then we can have multiple series. So let us know if there's also some other topic that you would like to share about or to hear about. We're very happy to to see how we can bring that to you and the community. Next episode 2 weeks ago will be on a topic that had quite some interest on our WhatsApp group around incentives. So we will be covering why incentives do not work and what are other ways to motivate people and to boost performance. And there will be some more coming. So we have those sessions every 2 weeks. So thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much, Antoine. So Antoine is actually in France at the moment, and so he woke up quite early for this. He might go back to bed. So we very, very much appreciate. Have a lovely afternoon, everyone. And and so we have the Bali Connect Tech Connect next Thursday as well. So stay tuned. Those in Bali, we will have a few drinks and networking drinks on next Thursday. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And you can follow me on LinkedIn if you have